Hey, and welcome to Launch Facility, the secret map of Duke Nukem 3D's first episode. And as you can see, it's kind of a continuation from the last level, because here's the toxic sludge that, we were swimming around in the last level. Now, in order to carry on here, we actually have to hit this switch by moving around this turbine. So, yeah, as you can see, it's an interesting looking level. There's some brick, there's some metal, but as you can see, we're going to be moving into a more base aesthetic once we get past this point here. So the thing I've always found about this level is that it always feels a lot more linear than the other levels we've played so far, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but compared to kind of how some of the previous levels let you have like open approach on how you approach certain things, this feels a bit more constrained and a bit more straightforward. So for example, there's a shotgun here which we're definitely going to be grabbing. You can see there's a bit of decoration. You can see a little tunnel there that we can't really access. So we come inside this room here, and as you can see, it's a circular room. There's a bunch of enemies in here and a staircase that goes around the outside. Now there's multiple ways we can get out of this room here, but we can only do it one at a time. So first off, I have to figure out this. I'm going to be wasting all my shotgun ammo here, aren't I? Let's blow this up here. So you can see that's the area that we want to be getting into here. I forget this code. Oh, there we go. Found it. Alright, you're there. So we've got ourselves the blue key here. So when we hit that, it opens the first of the force field doors, which are down here. Now you can see that we can't actually go in the other directions quite yet. We have to make our way through the level in a specific order. There's no other way to really do this. So we'll head up here and shoot down the enemies here. Also shoot the light switch so I can see what's going on in that room. So there's quite a few of these enemies here just taking pot shots at me. Oh, hello. So we're going to throw in a pipe bomb here. Wow, they like sneaking up on me in this level, don't they? So you can see in the roof there's actually a fan. Now that leads to a secret, but we won't be able to get to it until we get a jetpack, which we'll be picking up later in the level. But for now, we're actually going to pop our head into here. As you can see, we can have a look around the level slightly, and we can actually see outside to the launch pad for the first time. So in this version of the level, you can see that the rocket rises up there, majestically rising slowly. Slow and steady wins the race. That's basically the centerpiece for this level. Everything we're doing is about launching that rocket off into space. Quite why, I'm not sure, but hey, I just know that we have to do it. I don't know how Duke knows how to launch a rocket though. We don't really need to go back up there, because if we needed to get back into the previous area, we just flip this switch here and head back out here. As you can kind of see, the level only really has one direction for you to head in, so it's very hard to get lost. You can see there's a big blast door there, but unfortunately we can't actually pass through that right now. We have to open it up. Shoot you in the face. So grab the red key card there. Nothing really of note there, but if we hit that, we do open the blast doors, which is very nice. Gonna head outside here. So you can see there's a little hidey hole here for people to hide when the rocket blasts. And the rocket itself is pretty fun to look at, because it's very clear what it's meant to be, and we're going to try and sort this out. Now, I do like what the game does here. So we'll go inside this teleporter here, and it kind of creates the illusion we're actually inside the rocket. So if you look up here, firstly we'll put the red key in, and look, you can see up. We're definitely supposed to be inside the rocket here, and it's interesting because the second episode of Duke Nukem 3D, we will be going into space. So this is some nice foreshadowing. Unfortunately, there's nothing really for us to do with the jetpack out here. It's very much just sort of something that's given to us. But I am going to go back and get that secret that we saw earlier on. You know, the big fan in the roof. It's over here. And the only thing that's really up here is pipe bombs. Unfortunately, it's not that great a secret. So the rocket is primed, ready to go into space. Are we going to launch it? Yes, we are. I love that it just kind of drops. Like, rather than like actually, you know, launch it into space, it just kind of drops down here, and you can kind of see the rocket fuselage, or whatever you want to call that, has sort of dropped down. So it is interesting. This level is entirely kind of centered around launching this rocket, and it's not a very long level, at least compared to some of the ones we've played so far. Once you've kind of done with the rocket here, the game's like, okay, now back to the actual Duke Nukem experience. Because this is the same, I would hazard a guess that in continuity, this is the same toxic tunnel that we were kind of in at the end of the last level. You can see it's like the last level. It ends on a toxic river. There's... oh, let's kill you. There's really not that much else to talk about. There's all these computer stations that we can kind of see, but honestly, there's not much else to see. This is a very short level. Short and sweet, I'd say. And yeah, it ends very much like this, with a green level ending button. We're just going to see if there's a way back. There isn't, because in the last level they put that teleporter to the left hand side that let you go back early in the level. Launch Facility is one of those levels that it's got one idea. It's a very simple premise, and the game wants you to play around with that premise. It doesn't really want you kind of going off and doing all kinds of things. There's no like big secrets here. There's nothing really that sort of exciting outside of the actually quite exciting launch of the level, because it's a nice set piece. And in the N64 version here, it looks pretty much the same, at least initially. There are some notable changes we'll talk about when we get to them later in the level, but as you can see, like, the turbine here is very much the same. You can't really do much with it. There's no reason to kind of play around too long in this opening area. Now, I'm actually going to show you where those monsters came from earlier on. In the last playthrough, I got ambushed around here. So that you pick up boots here, and then these monsters kind of come out of the wall here. So it's very much the same level. We can actually shut the force field behind us. Just need to make sure that I don't accidentally get hit by these guys. Excuse me.
Cool.
So again, we're back in this circular room here. What I find interesting about this room is that if you have a jetpack, you don't even need to bother with the puzzle. You can actually use the jetpack, probably just to get to the top of the area there, and you don't even need to deal with the puzzle. Now, me being me, can I actually remember what this puzzle is? Have I messed this up? I guess they must have changed it. Kind of interesting that they made that little change, but hey. So as you can see here, we need to hit this switch. We can go through the teleporter like we did last time, and yeah, again, the flow of this level is pretty similar, so there's nothing too surprising going on here. Oh, hello. We're going to throw some pipes into this room. It's a good way to get rid of the enemies. It saves my RPG ammo for later on in the level, and also means that, like, it clears a lot of the enemies who are down beneath me who may get some lucky shots in on me. Turn on the lights. So you can see that ceiling fan is still there. It's the same secret, there's nothing different in there. Make sure there's nothing following me there. Now you'll notice there is a very big difference outside here. Namely the walls at the side. On the PC version it's just the skybox of those little grey walls there. But here they've actually gone to the efforts of putting in a massive cliff face. No idea why they've chosen to do that. I can only imagine it's for performance reasons. Because I can't imagine there'd be any other reason you'd want to do that, to be honest. And also, if we head down here, and back in here, you'll see that this room has also changed its appearance. So, maybe they just wanted this to look a bit more kind of, you know, grander, because this door does have a grander feel to it. Because it does, I don't know if it's actually bigger, but it does appear to be a lot bigger. But yeah, I kind of dig it. I kind of dig the new aesthetic in here. It kind of fits with the launch that they're trying to go with here. The space base and all that. We'll be seeing a lot of space base in the second episode, but for now, you know, this is as close as we're going to get. I also think, look how the door opens and closes as well. That's very interesting. I can't think of any reason why it would do that. But yeah, you can see they've actually put in a bunch of cliffs, and not just like a cliff, they've actually put this little extra area in here, which has the toxic sludge river that we kind of came into the level on. Again, I don't know why they felt the need to add all this. Maybe they felt that this area wasn't good enough. I don't know. You can't actually reach the cliffs without a jetpack, so once we grab the jetpack in a bit, I'll go flying up and we'll just have a nosy around to see if there's anything of note up there. I don't suspect there will be. But yeah, it's fascinating that they've chosen to do that. It must be something to do with limitations on the N64 or something, because there's no real reason to add those in. That's a lot of extra work for no real benefit. This part has no difference, except in this version you can actually free the babes rather than just shooting them. Can't actually do that in the PC version.
Let's rock.
And you can see it's the same ship layout, so nothing too different here. I also just kind of wanted to do that to show you that it isn't actually inside that rocket bit there. It's actually somewhere off map, because you couldn't hear the explosions. We were right next to it there. But as you can see, there's nothing really on the cliffs here. This side has much more detailed cliffs, so let's see if there's anything up top. I'd be surprised if there isn't. It feels like they put something up here at least to kind of, you know, fill this area out a bit. You can see that camera there hanging off the skybox, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I'm not sure why this is here. It's an interesting addition, no doubt, but like, I don't know. I feel like the PC version kind of fits more because it was a nighttime setting, but you can see it still drops down, and the explosion, I'd argue it looks a bit more grander in this one because of the polygon explosions. You can use this elevator here to drop down. We could have done this in the PC version, but obviously didn't do that. Used the jetpack in that version. And yeah, again, the bottom bit of the shuttle has landed here, and I guess we're off to the final part of this level. So as you can tell from some of these levels, there's not that many differences. It seems that the first two levels kind of got major makeovers, and then the rest of these levels seem to be just kind of fine-tuned in certain areas, but never like, ooh, that was really painful. It's interesting to say the least. I do like the SMGs. I love the Ripper, but like the SMGs have their own sort of charm going for them. So again, the ending's like this. There is no like teleporter back. You have to go back into the toxic water if you want to go back to the previous bits of the level. I like Launch Facility. I don't think it's among the best levels we've played in Duke Nukem so far. It's a bit too linear for my liking, but what do you guys think of it? What are your thoughts on this level? Let me know in the comments, and thank you very much for watching.